So once both sides are stripped, we're going to tin all of these wires here. Now both sides of the wires are stripped and tinned. Alright, so now we're going to move on to tinning all of these connectors here and here. So to do that, take your soldering iron, take some solder, apply a little solder, and just like that, all the pads have been tinned. And do so on the power supply too. So just do it on this side. Alright, now we're going to solder these wires onto here. So, let me see here. So, in my case, I'm going to take the orange wire and the blue wire, and I'm going to solder the orange wire to VCC, which is this pin here. I'm going to solder the orange wire to the VCC and the blue wire to the GND. Okay, and now I'm going to take the green wire and solder it to the SW here. And I'm going to take the green and white striped wire and I'm going to solder it to the RX here. And now I'm going to take the brown wire and solder it to the TX here. And I'm going to solder the brown and white wire to the reset. And these two wires here I'm just going to cut off. Okay, everything is soldered onto the power board here. And then the other end we're going to solder to the main control board. So remembering our color code, we're going to take the blue wire and connect it to the GND, and the orange wire we're going to connect to the VCC. So now we're going to take the green wire here and solder it to the SW, and we're going to take the brown wire and solder it to the TX here. Okay, and then we're going to solder the green and white wire to the RX, and we're going to solder the brown and white wire to the reset. Okay, I'm going to clip off these two wires, and for the most part the control board and the power supply are done. All we need to do is add the battery pack to the power supply here. So now we're going to mount this whole board onto this battery pack, and we're going to connect these wires to here. So before we do that, we're going to take these wires that come off the battery pack here. This is a 4 AA battery pack. So trim the leads about 2 inches. And strip and tin these wires. Alright, and now we're going to take the GND and we're going to solder it here, and we're going to take the red wire and we're going to solder it there. So now that we have the battery pack soldered and I've put some batteries in here, moment of truth, let's switch on the whole assembly. And yeah, looks like we have power and looks like everything works, and we didn't see any magic smoke come off of here. And you'll notice that there's a red LED blinking here on the Bluetooth module. That means it's searching for a signal. And also when you press power on the battery, the whole assembly, this LED lights up and then turns off. Okay, so now let's mount this board onto here. So turn it off, and we're going to mount it like so. Grab your hot glue gun and apply a liberal amount of hot glue here and here. And mount it just like so. Now you might want to apply some hot glue here and here, and apply a bunch here to reinforce all the connections. And now let's apply some hot glue here. Okay, set this aside to cool, and we are done with the power supply and the main control board. Again, if you are making the non-Bluetooth version, you won't have this part and this part, but everything else will look the same.